Well, that is a nice house. And that house
Привет, привет.
is exactly the same as that property.
Кто на канале на ютубе? Где тут этот? На канале-то есть Roblox? Ну, давно не было, будет. Я не знаю, как у него на этом плейлист есть. А так будет, кто хоть так посмотрит. Там же просто этот плейлист и видосы там будет. Я без музыки, то все-таки права. Ребята, тут буду в шоке будете, что у меня тут творится. Это просто в шоке, блин. А вы сразу. Только смотрите, я там стараюсь, блин.
But there is yet another possibility with this house. Because of its layout, it could conceivably be split into two flats.
Ребят, если наконец тут никто смотреть не будет, я просто вообще восстановлю. Надолго. У меня Twitch есть. Мне надо как-то эту ссылку оставить на канале, на Twitch. Сколько этот аккаунт на Twitch. Мне просто времени нету. Я просто не успеваю.
So let's find out who did buy the house when it went under that.
Идет.
So move on to lot 49.
О, да ну, привет, сейчас покажу. Давай.
No, 300, not going to go below 300.
Ну, шумно, да давай ты ускоряйся. Да уж, что там, бля, смотри, посмотри. Что это за бред?
340.
Что это за скорость? Да давай ты быстрее, блин.
360, sir.
Ну, ускорял, замедляется, блин.
370.
Я не знаю, ничего себе не поделаю. Не знаю, ускорял, что он медленно. Ну вот. Я не знаю.
390, sir.
Ну, вы уже что?
390, yeah? 395. I think 395 at the back. First time, second time, third 396. Oh, it's cheap still. 397, 398, 399, 400, 401, 402, 403, 404, 405, 406, 407, 408, 409, 410, 411, 412, 413, 414, 415, 414, sitting down, first time, second time, third and last time, you're done. 415, well, I didn't really see you. 416, 417, yes, 417, 418, 419, 420, 421, one more go, might be their limit. 420, sitting down in the aisle, first time, second time, third and last time, you're done. Sold 420, well bid, well bought.
The successful bid of 420,000 was made by Kamal. He's the owner of 2 gift shops in central London, and this is his second property developing purchase. He bought his first one 2 years ago. The final auction price of nearly £500,000 might seem astronomical, but as in London, where the property market is hot, there might still be potential to make even more money. Kamal, congratulations. Now, you were with your wife at the auction, weren't you?
Yes.
You paid £95,000 over the
Тысяч.
buy price. So how do you feel about the price you paid?
We were a bit shocked. We paid 20,000 more on budget, but we'll see.
Why do you think that was? Did you get slightly excited?
Yes, I don't want to miss this property. I did viewed this property 3 times, so I don't want to take a chance.
So what is it about this house that you thought, I've got to have that?
The property I bought before is near this property. I made a good money on that property, so I thought this area is coming up. So
So even though you have spent £420,000 on this house, you still think there's room for a lot more profit?
I think I can make it work. I have a few plans, so maybe I can
А только 5 минут
make some
прошло.
money.
One of the things that completely took me aback when I came
На
in
сколько
here
там? 500 тысяч.
the great big corrugated iron garage you've got in the backyard. What is that?
Yes, it's a car garage, but we're going to put a fence between our garden and the garage so people won't see them.
I am worried that Kamal could find his costs running away with him. He's already paid £20,000 more than he planned, and the real expense is only just beginning. So how much budget have you put aside to do the work in this property?
30 to 40,000 pounds.
Well, that's quite a
500
hefty
тысяч.
lump sum.
Yeah, I'm going to change
Быстро набрал.
maybe all the windows and flooring, ceiling, everything.
Well, I know that you brought some plans along with you today because you've got a few ideas
Yes.
with what you're actually going to do in here.
Такие
Should we go and
любые
have a walk
вообще.
downstairs?
Yeah, sure. You come on. That's it.
Kamal
покажу.
had plans drawn up
Вот.
to extend the kitchen and convert this tired house into one very splendid property.
Ну, бяра, блин,
Here
вообще
are the
никакие.
grand plans. So, is this the footprint of the property?
Yes, Lucy, this is for family house.
This is the front door, so you'd come in. You've got 2 reception rooms here, and this is where you're
Ну,
planning
сколько
on
тут
putting
на...
the kitchen and the
Да,
bathroom.
слушай, на
out
200
here.
тысяч.
Yes, we
Там, ребята, вот эти яйца и по 5 и... Не, на 4 и 5 миллионов.
Upstairs,
О,
you're going to have
есть
3 really
такие.
nice
Ну,
sized
капец.
bedrooms.
Даже я не
And then
знаю.
up in the loft area.
we're going to have another bathroom and bedroom.
So you will be selling this and
Ну и...
marketing this
Да
as a
ну...
family house. And there is, of course, a
серая.
massive drawback to that being that you don't really have a garden.
Yes, I will try to sell
220.
market as a family house. If I don't get a high price,
О, он тоже
go
помогает.
as a flat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ладно, хай будет.
Okay, so you're thinking of applying for planning permission for 2 flats. Now, looking at the plan, it does actually work quite well as 2 separate dwellings because you'll have a
Еще
ground floor flat
быстрее
and
идея.
a first and second floor,
О.
won't you?
Yes.
Because the
А то-
house has 3 floors, it does lend itself to a conversion into
Ребята, начинал, это было долго. А сейчас, да. Какая скорость. 14 среди штук. 14 штук уже. Показал, сколько надо набрать? Вон. 16,
This is Kamal's second attempt at
короче, миллионов.
taken on a lot of business.
Набрать надо.
His main concern is focusing on the end value of
сколько
the
надо?
property. Will he achieve the 550 or
Это-
above?
это много. Это
Stay
как
with us to
какой-то
find out
замок
what
вот тут.
happens later on the show.
Coming up, there's a complicated story in Cardiff. Let's see if I can follow the plot.
Running that way along the plot.
In London, new property developer Kamal is having problems with the
А миллион, а? Там, блин,
They have lost the paperwork, so I have to reapply again.
But first, we return to Derby, where a husband and wife team are having problems being generous.
We're trying to give them away now, we want to do.
We're back in Derby to meet up with John and Pat, an experienced property developing team who just bought this down-at-heel 3-bedroom house. Amongst what was left behind were a piano and these ever-so-cool bathroom tiles. Not like to persuade John of their merit.
Believe the tiles. Yes, leave the black tiles. I like the black tiles. You can't. Oh no, everything was taken.
The couple have a not-for-profit business which works on supported living projects. But this purchase was for their other sideline, property developing, and they have an ingenious way of decorating their renovated houses.
We're getting a little bit too old to
200
design for
тысяч.
youngsters now. So we dragged the youngsters and said, what would you do?
4 months later,
Эпик!
how's it
Или
look?
легенду. Эпик. Сразу эпический
Well,
выкуп.
it looks like the double glazing salesman has been kept busy with new windows throughout.
Миллион сразу.
Just render has
Ё-моё.
been too,
И тут это вообще сразу.
John and Pat. Round the back, there's no new extension, but there is some patio decking and new French doors.
А, влияет.
But things start to get really exciting.
666. Ну, наставил пока. Вот это лучше не трогать.
We've taken out the wall here, put the nice beautiful doors in, so it's made the downstairs, so you can walk all the way through, made a much bigger area. We bricked up a doorway in there, given a nice little wall space on this
Я
side.
не знаю, вы предположим, вот, потом что-то тупить начинаю. Не знаю.
The original kitchen was quite small, all it had was a cooker, a Belfast sink and one unit. As you can see now we've got a full range of kitchen units in one.
Это быстро будет.
Gas boiler for the central heating. There was no central heating at all before. So overall, I think we're quite pleased with it actually. It's made quite a nice job down here.
One thing I really like about Pat and John's renovation is that they've gone for some very modern design features. They admit they asked their children's opinions on decoration and they've really freshened the place up.
Since you were last here, we've put a new bathroom. New toilet downstairs. Big in the garden. And take the asbestos garage away. We had difficulty getting rid of the asbestos garage. We tried 2 contractors, neither turned up, and somebody recommended another contractor who came along, dismantled it all, packed it in plastic bags, put it on a lorry and took it away. It's quite an expensive operation though. Getting rid of the garage cost us over £500.
I think it's been quite a good job. We're very pleased with the results. I think it's been one of the best we've ever done really, because it was in such an original state when we took the house over, and then it's something that's really modern. I think it was quite an achievement, and I think we're quite proud of that fact actually.
Только выводы иногда вылетают.
It's quite amazing really when we came in and we found all the furniture and
Не
the
знаю.
piano, but we actually sold the piano. I think it's £100.
£100 for the piano, not bad. And they might have made even more money by carefully removing those beautiful pink and black tiles and selling them as the collector's classics that they undoubtedly are.
Originally, the bathroom had got black and pink square tiles on. They were really dated. We tried to give them away, nobody wanted them, so we finished chopping them off. We had a cast bath, needed redoing. We couldn't get it out in one piece, so we had to break it up and put in the new bath. And the bathroom is now a hell of a lot better than what it was before.
I beg to disagree. Nobody wanted those pink and black tiles. What's wrong with the people of Derby? Anyway, our husband and wife team's renovation looks good. Now the question is, how have they done with their budget?
We budgeted 20,000, and we're just about on. So we're quite happy with that.
The property has joined the 21st century at last. Let's see if we can get a 21st century price when we show it to 2 local agents.
I mean, when you see it in its raw state, like I did, and you try and visualise what it's going to be like,
It
could be quite good, but I think
Нормально.
it's absolutely fabulous. Overall, I think it's got a good job.
Зеленого. Видите, как он уже есть. Что я выпал опять?
So some mixed reactions there. Time to find out
Опять на миллион. Второй такой уже, 2 одинаковых.
John Pat bought the property for £124,500 and spent another £20,000 renovating it. Rounded up, that's nearly £135,000. How much do the agents think it's worth now?
If it's right on the market now, I guess the asking price.
2 эпика выпало. Сразу. По миллиону. Один и второй.
Obviously, the 160 on.
I think the other one's low.
Yeah.
It is low because we know what the other houses around here are on the
100
market,
миллионов. О!
and that is very low.
So depending on which agent you talk to, John and Pat might have made a profit of 15,000 or a loss once fees are taken into account. But our husband and wife team are not disheartened and will be hitting the auction rooms again soon. I'm in Cardiff, Wales' happening capital city. There's the state-of-the-art Millennium Stadium, trendy Cardiff Bay, and even Doctor Who has been known to teleport in sometimes.
This is Kyra. There is predominantly ex-local authority housing, but a lot of it is now in private hands, and it is incredibly popular. Not least because it's got fantastic transport links, and you're only 4 miles to the city centre. So it would seem a prime location.
Anywhere so close to the city centre will always be popular with both buyers and tenants alike.
So what's up for auction? Well, it's a plot of land. It's got a guide price, 36,000 quid. That's got you interested, but it gets better because this particular plot of land has also got planning permission for the construction of a detached 3-bedroom house. Now it's getting very interesting. Let's see what's on the plan.
Oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. No.
Land, well, as they say, they just don't make it anymore. Its finite quality makes it a great hedge against inflation, and over the long term will nearly always rise in value.
Give me land, lots of land, under starry skies.
This bit of green space might not look much, but to a developer, land is always a potential gold mine.
I'll tell you what, if it does not make you think this, you could well be sitting staring at a plot of land that you own pretty much like this. I'll tell you what, 36 grand, this could get an auction. Nice holiday with that. But anyway, what are
О, жилет.
that
И он уже и быстро.
Well, basically, they have gone for a 3-bedroom detached
По 25 надо еще.
running that way along the plot. Here's the designs: garage, courtyard, kitchen, diner, living room, and lots of space here. And then upstairs, 3 bedrooms. But interesting, the design they've gone for. Lots of glass and quite an architecturally quite funky kind of feeling to it. Now, I'm not sure that that's necessarily right for this area.
Мирон,
Very careful.
250.
Something that isn't really suitable for the place where the house is going to be located. And also, I'm not sure that a detached 3-bedroom house is necessarily the most sensible use of this plot of land. Maybe I'd consider something like flats instead. But anyway, the good news is that at least you have got something that has been approved, and that is worth its weight in gold.
But how much is it really worth? I asked a local agent for her thoughts.
The housing in this area is generally rented accommodation. There is a great lack of affordable housing for first-time buyers, for youngsters, and I think whoever buys this land, I think should be looking to head down that road.
Is the current approved plan for a 3-bedroom house and garage the best use of this plot?
Having looked at the plan, I would prefer to see the potential buyer looking to seek advice with the local authority to amend planning permission for
250.
occupancy.
Aside from being more helpful to the youngsters, there's another reason why flats might be a better idea.
I would suggest that a 2-bedroomed flat apartment here would realise somewhere around 85 to 90,000. I think whoever buys this could actually make a little bit more money by making multiple occupancy residency.
So the greater the number of flats on the property, the more youngsters housed and the more profit for the developer. We might have struck some Welsh gold here. Let's see if anyone else has spotted it as we head for the auction.
On now to lot number 38, ladies and gentlemen. It's a freehold building block with full planning consent for a 3-bedroom detached house and garage. 45,000 to start fee. 40 then if you like to get on. 35 then start fee. Well, 30. I've been a lot of it 30.
Да не-не-не.
I should take it as a few hands down. I'm taking one at a time. 5, thank you. 40 standing right in the back. At 40 standing right against the window in the back. And if I'm missing it, 41, thank you. At 41, I thought you'd got it by the window. Thank you. At 42. At 42,000, right back 43, thank you. 44. At 44. No, he says, at 44, I'll take a half then if it helps you. 44 and a half. 5 if you like now in the back. Is that a bit? 5, thank you.
А ну же туда. Там же за 700 тысяч хватает.
At 45,000, you're out, sir. No, he says. I think he's quite happy to be out there. He's shaking his head.
Вот.
At 45,000 pounds, the bids in the back.
800 тысяч, как хватает.
45,000 pounds in the back.
He waited in the shadows, but now he's finally nabbed his property. His name is John, and he's a former senior police officer.
3 миллиона.
Moving his skills into property developing, he now owns
Go for
an
million
estate
three.
agency and 2 property companies. He obviously likes the area because he owns another building block 200 metres down the road, on which, wait for it, 30 houses will be built.
John, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, why did you want to buy this property?
Well, I saw it as an opportunity to either build what has been, intended to build on here, or perhaps change it to
Тут уже
to eventually build, being 3 apartments, 3 flats.
Okay, going on that side. How did you like the design and what they've come up with?
Well, it wasn't suitable for the area, really. It wouldn't have fitted. I think to build 3 flats is going to be far more suitable for this area. And there's a tremendous amount of young people who want to live in this area. But these are going to be affordable homes.
а теперь накапливать. 3 миллиона тебе.
So, is it more popular to build on that roof?
Yes.
Запись.
How did you go about setting what your limit would be for the price you pay for this?
Well, we know what prices are here, and the 3-bedroom house that is already planned for this plot would probably achieve about £160,000. Now, there would be some profit in that, but not a great deal. If I go down the route which I'm hoping to do of 3 flats, then there will be greater profit. But that's going to be a much better opportunity for younger people to maybe get on the ladder and own their own property.
John's desire to help the young isn't limited to the future buyers of his proposed flats. In fact, one lucky recipient is actually much closer to home.
I saw this as an opportunity probably to introduce my son into the development side of things. He currently works for me, but not on development. So this is an opportunity for him to get involved and see how it's not that easy to become a developer.
25-year-old son Rodri is going to share the responsibilities of developing the site with John. He already works in the family estate agency business, but this will be a big step up.
This land is your land, this land is mine. This land was made for you and me.
Rod, this is a little bit exciting then.
It is, yeah, very much so, yeah.
What did you say when your dad said he wanted you to get involved in this?
Well, I've been sort of pestering for the last few months really that I was intending on branching out and starting with my first development, and I've been watching my dad do it for years now, and obviously working as an estate agent I deal with a lot of developers, and I was getting a bit tired of seeing everyone else making the money, and I thought it was about time that I've tried a bit for myself really.
So what do you think about this as a project to take on?
I think it's going to be great, yeah.
Ребята, меня слышно?
Even if the plans don't eventually
Слышно?
come through for the 3 apartments, it'll still be a development that'll be a good starting point for me, to learn the ropes really, and to get myself up to speed with the way that it works start to finish. But hopefully, if we do come through with the plans, then yeah, it's going to be a great one to start with.
So how's it going to work on a sort of day-to-day basis? Are you going to be project managing? Are you going to be finding builders, etc., or what?
I'll probably largely hand it over to my dad for the general running, because that's his profession, and I've obviously got a day job that I'm going to have to run sort of side by side. So although I'll spend a fair bit of time back and forth checking progress to make sure that it's coming on, and rather than being here sort of cracking the whip, I'll just be sort of taking a slightly backstage role and just watching it progress from start to finish.
Because the $1 million question is, what are you going to do with any profit? Who gets to keep that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sticking point, but hopefully we're going to be looking to reinvest in something pretty much straight away. I'm sure that I'll be able to negotiate taking a small bit out at the end, but be looking to stick most of it back into something else straight away. Yeah.
Talking about profit, it's time to ask Dad John how much he's hoping to make from a small site.
Total cost of the flats I would estimate at about £150,000.
And do you have an idea of what they might sell for?
Yeah, a two-bedroom flat here should easily achieve about 90,000 plus. Very affordable. And the one-bedroom flat, I would say probably about £70,000 to £75,000.
So, with development plans for two-bedroom flats and one-bedroom flat, how much profit will there be for the father and son team?
There should be a profit of about £50,000 to £60,000.
What happens if you don't get the planning permission for your flat?
But I just go back to plan A and build a three-bedroom house. It'll be profitable, but not as profitable as the flats.
So give me an idea of the timescales for what you're planning.
I would like to think that we'll be into the ground within about 2 to 3 months from now.
Right, so we'll come back in a few months' time, hopefully with a broken ground.
I hope to see a building going up fast.
Me too. Well, so congratulations with this.
Thank you very much, Robert. Success.
You know, if they can get those plans through those 3 flats, I reckon they're onto a winner. Of course, with planning, you never know. Will they have to resort to the original plans for that 3-bedroom property? You can find out later in the show. Now, time and tide wait for no man.
And in the property world, time usually means money.
But it's the point where we go back and find out if the time and the effort have been well spent.
Hidden away behind the bushes, this end-of-terrace property in Acton, West London, was bought at auction for $420,000 by Kamal.
Kamal!
Planning to convert the house into 2 separate flats. We come back 4.5 months later, and at least you can now see the house from the road. Inside, Kamal's builders have really got stuck in. Walls have come down, and character features have been ripped out. At the back of the house, a new extension has been built. And upstairs, the bedroom and bathroom have both changed, so the property is unrecognisable. Up in the attic, thanks to a loft conversion, there's now a new bedroom with an ensuite.
So far, all the major works done on the property. Only flooring need to be done, and all the small decoration work and converting to 2 flats.
And the house hadn't been touched for years, so it required a major refurbishment.
Basically, on the property, we have done the rewiring, plastering, put a new windows. Most of the major works are done.
Kamal decided to take a risk. He started preparation hallway.
Here we are in the kitchen area. This is the main door for the first floor flat. This is the main door for the ground floor flat. This is going to be
Все, набрал 3.
closer.
Да,
So
все.
people have to walk
А
through.
вот там уже
There's so much space here. So when we get the planning permission,
то не 150, а 17 надо набрать.
2 flats.
Converting the loft and putting the extension on didn't have permission, as they fell within the property's
Что с этими?
But the conversion to
Запаковались.
does require permission, and that is dragging on.
Yes, it's taking planning longer than I thought because they have first I have applied for it and they have lost the paperwork, so I have to reapply again. So it's taking a delay.
When the planning department rejected Kamal's initial proposal, the work on his $420,000 investment had to stop.
I was planning to start something before I get planning permission, but I had a visit by planning officer.
Какая-то фейки.
Doing work regarding converting the flats. So I have to
Нифига,
So we
понятно.
are doing work outside.
Да не, это крутой.
Lots of work in the front because it's had a big, large tree on the front we have to chop down.
The rear of the house overlooks the industrial building. Not very attractive, but Kamal reckons
Мне там уже многовато надо, блин. 16 лямов, блин. Дофига, ну да, блин.
Fence to cover it, so people can't see the garage in the back. When we see the car, it's going to be nice.
The fence does block the view of the garage, but with Kamal's there's next to no garden left at all. Bit by bit, its potential as a family house is starting to diminish. So increasingly, Kamal is getting the go-ahead to split the house into 2 flats. Kamal paid $420,000 at the auction and reckons that the delay in obtaining planning permission has cost him about £5,000 in extra mortgage repayments and building costs. So how has his budget fared?
I have spent about £30,000 on the property so far. I'm looking